If you're on the hunt for an affordable beach town option in Palm Beach County, well, then this episode is for you. I'm going to tell you all about a town that has great, affordable residential options, a beautiful public beach and fishing pier, lots of public space with a public golf course right on the Intracoastal, a charming historic downtown, and Western gated community options. So stand by and I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay, so Lake Worth Beach. Lake Worth Beach, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so first I'm just going to show you a 30,000 foot view of South Florida, basically from the north end of Palm Beach County is here, Jupiter to Cuesta, and the south end of Palm Beach County is here at Boca, and it's almost in the middle. West Palm Beach is the county seat here, and the island of Palm Beach is right here. Just below West Palm Beach is the city of Lake Worth Beach. And that's what I'm going to tell you about today. So we'll go and zoom in here a little bit more. And so here is basically the city itself. This C-51 canal is a canal that drains from the west and from Lake Okeechobee. And this is the dividing line between West Palm and Lake Worth Beach. And then the main road through downtown is Lucerne that runs here, and it runs right out to just a beautiful beach that is part of Lake Worth Beach. And then the city itself extends down here to just above Lantana. So this is basically the heart of the city. You can see the boundary lines here, but there are a lot of developments out here. Like you see how all these other towns that I'm going to talk about at some point, but they call this the Lake Worth Corridor. And this used to be all an ag area. And now this whole area has a lot of nice residential gated and ungated developments. And they, even though they have an address of Lake Worth, they aren't in the city of Lake Worth proper. So these western communities are actually part of unincorporated Palm Beach County, but they are directly west of Lake Worth and worth pointing out because you can enjoy all the amenities of eastern Lake Worth while living in a gated community out west. Next, I'm going to show you the niche rating. So as I scroll here, you can see that the overall niche rating is a B-, and I think it looks like you can attribute a lot of this to, the public schools are older in the eastern part of Lake Worth Beach. And I think the D+ is attributable to the fact that the city itself has almost 56% rent compared to owning. And then there is a crime issue here, which I think has been improving, and that is more in certain geographic areas than others. So I'll talk about that. But overall, they give it a B-, and I think the city is paying a lot of attention to that. And it is a small population city with 38,000 people. So there you have it. That's the niche rating. And here it'll show the map to kind of give you that context of, here's the Lake Worth corridor, the western communities, and then here's the heart of historic Lake Worth with a beautiful beach here over the Lake Worth Bridge. So now I'm going to tell you about the city itself. I'm going to show you the amenities in a downtown and around downtown, and then we'll talk about some of the neighborhoods, the historic neighborhoods in the eastern part of town, and then also tell you about some of the gated communities in the western part of Lake Worth Beach. Okay, so first I'm going to tell you about the things that I love about Lake Worth and Lake Worth Beach in terms of the amenities and the nature and the charm of the downtown area. And I'm going to start, if you look at this map, I'll start here on the east side to show you the beach area, and then we'll go over the Lake Worth Bridge. And then you can see at the west side of the Lake Worth Bridge, to the north is a beautiful public municipal golf course, and to the south, a park called Bryant Park, where there's a amphitheater and launch for paddle boards and kayaks, and then it's kind of like the cornerstone at the west end of the bridge. And then as you go further west, then you're in the downtown area where there are shops and restaurants, and they have a lot of festivals. And then we'll end up to the far west, closer to the western communities, where John Prince Park. So here we go. The city of Lake Worth Beach has one of the most beautiful beaches, and it's so easily accessible from whether you live in the eastern part of Lake Worth Beach or out in the western communities, you can park and enjoy the downtown area, and then you can walk over the bridge to the beach. And at the beach complex, there are a lot of amenities, which is kind of unusual for some beaches. Like the nearest beach to the north is Phipps Park, and then the public beach at Palm Beach. But you don't have any amenities right there on the beach, and there isn't a great amount of parking. So here you'll see this aerial view of the area, this aerial photo of the beach area, and you can see in the upper left, that's the old casino. It actually was a casino back in the day. There's no gambling there now, but that's the casino complex. And in that complex are a number of restaurants, as you can see. And there's this really popular restaurant called Benny's on the Beach. And then to the lower right of that aerial photo, you can see, can't quite see the pier, but I'm going to show you here some videos of the pier. So there is a fishing pier there, and there is a restaurant there on the pier, and you can do your fishing off the end of the pier. A lot of surfers like to come to the beach here. And then also, as part of that casino complex, there used to be a public oceanfront pool, and they have been working on it for several years about what to do with it and what it's going to be like. But I think their plans are coming to fruition, and they're going to start working on that soon. As well, the casino complex has a second floor banquet area and ballrooms. So if you're planning a wedding, you can actually have an oceanfront party to celebrate your wedding there at the casino complex. So now I'm going to go back to the map so you can see where we just were there. You can see Benny's on the Beach and the Lake Worth Beach Park. And then, so this is where you start. You head west, going on Lake Avenue, over the Lake Avenue Intercoastal Waterway Bridge. And some things to point out here is just north of the beach complex is the Four Seasons Resort, which is right along A1A. And you also have this luxurious Tide Line Ocean Resort just below that. And then if you took Ocean Boulevard further south, you would get to what was a Ritz-Carlton, and now it's an O resort right on the ocean. Palm Beach is just north of here, and South Palm Beach is just below, with a lot of condos on the ocean. It really is a jewel to have this large public complex here. As you come over the bridge heading west, you're going over this wide expanse of the Intercoastal Waterway, and on the right or to the north of the bridge, you'll see this extensive boardwalk that runs along these natural mangroves. And there's a place here where you can put in your paddleboard and your kayak. And then this boardwalk runs north toward the public golf course. It also is a natural estuary area that's been renovated, and there is a St. John's Island is just off the coastline there, and the Intercoastal, as well as the Snook Islands. So it really is a beautiful natural area to enjoy just walking or using your paddleboard or your kayak. And you can easily walk from this area on the west side of the bridge over to the beach. And then I'm going to insert another map here that is, again, shows the Intercoastal Waterway on the right. And to the north of that, just above it, you can see that's the area that I just described with the Snook Islands and the boardwalk. And then just to the south of that is Bryant Park, which is another beautiful intercoastal park where you can put in your paddleboards and kayaks there. It has the amphitheater where there are concerts, and it's just a beautiful place to enjoy the outdoors and the sunrise in the morning. So now I'm going to reinsert another map here so you can see that I was just describing. There's the Lake Worth Bridge, the Bryant Park to the south of the downtown area and the bridge, and then to the north, this whole stretch of green north of the bridge, you can see all the way to the top. That is the Lake Worth Beach Golf Club. And actually, there is an oceanfront golf course as well, a par 3 that's just across the Intercoastal. It's part of the town of Palm Beach, but that is also a public municipal course. So these are just beautiful surroundings to play golf in. And you can see, I'm going to show you some videos here of the golf course itself and the nature around it. The Lake Worth Beach Golf Club, it really does have the most beautiful coastal views. And it also has just like a long history, just like the town has. It was established in 1926, and it really is vintage South Palm Beach. There are mature banyan trees, all kinds of indigenous trees. It's a very well planned course, and you get the beautiful breezes from the Intracoastal while you're playing. It's one of the few daily fee par 71 full-length golf courses located on the water with fantastic views of the Intracoastal and the Palm Beach skyline. It really is a unique feature to living in this part of Lake Worth Beach. It also has a great clubhouse. They call it the Beach Club, and a casual restaurant with a bar and, just regular casual food. And that is a really popular spot, especially for some of the communities that I'm going to tell you about in the next segment, the historical homes that are adjacent to the golf course. I mean, people just love living there because they have the ocean just, 5 minutes away. They can walk to the golf course. Downtown is just around the corner. So it really is the whole package when it comes to all the amenities of a small town in South Florida. So we came over the bridge from the beach. We talked about the waterway north of the bridge and the golf course there, and then to the South Bryant Park. And then as we go further, the road divides, the bridge divides, and you go through the downtown, and it's several blocks. And so there's Lucerne on one side and Lake Avenue on the other side, and the traffic flows, in the western direction on the north side, and to the east over the bridge on the south side. And then there's all these kind of some quirky little shops. There's a lot of artists that live in Lake Worth Beach. So there's galleries. There are a lot of restaurants that have been opening up recently, casual restaurants, but also a little bit higher end cuisine, and just little breakfast joints and fun places to sit and just enjoy especially the winter weather when the fall comes, and then through the spring. And the heart of this area is where the courthouse is and the public library. And there are these beautiful banyan trees, or maybe they're ficus trees actually, but they're super mature. And they offer a lot of shade in this area. So people just love to just hang out in the park there and go out to one of the restaurants and then just take a stroll. So during the winter months, I think it's in the spring actually, they have a street painting festival, and that's like a giant draw for the area. They close down the whole downtown street area, and these artists come in and do these chalk paintings on the street, and people really get a kick out of it. And then they have food and parties, and it's really fun. Because it is a more progressive community, they do have a gay pride parade. I'm not sure what time of the year that is, but that's very popular for everyone to come because they have a lot of booths and food, and it's very festive and a lot of fun. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to refer back to the map of the area, and you can see John Prince Park to the west of 95 in the west of the downtown area. And this is a very large park. It's 700 acres. With 338 acres of lake, and there's camping there, and there's a boat launch, there's bicycle paths, basketball courts, a couple of dog parks, freshwater fishing, nature trails. It's a very popular, very large park in really what is more the eastern area of Lake Worth. And then just below that park is the regional county airport. So that's also very close to the amenities of Lake Worth. And of course, the Palm Beach International is just maybe like 20 minutes to the north on I-95 from Lake Worth. So I'm going to just take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Diane Wimbrow, and I am a lifelong South Floridian and realtor here in northern Palm Beach County. And I get calls and texts and Zoom meetings with people all the time who are thinking about moving to South Florida, but they just don't know where to start. And so if this sounds like you, feel free to call me or text me at the number below, and I'd love to help you figure out the right place for you. So in the meantime, let's continue. Okay, so in this segment, I'm going to walk you through some of my favorite neighborhoods in Lake Worth, and I'm focusing mostly, I'm going to show you this map here, and this shows all the different neighborhood associations in the area north of downtown and east of Dixie. So you can see there's quite a few. I think the most popular one is College Park up here in the upper right. So there's a reason why College Park, I think, the most popular area of this. And I'm going to give you a little backstory on it. So I'm going to switch maps to this map and show you that this canal you see dividing east and west. On the north of that canal is the city of West Palm Beach. And then on the south side is the city of Lake Worth Beach. And this canal feeds from other canals to the west and ultimately from Lake Okeechobee. And if you look right here in between Dixie and Olive, you can see this where it says Spillway Park. And because this is a canal and it is a spillway, if you will, there is a kind of like a little dam there that controls the flow of the water from the west of Dixie Highway through to the Intercoastal, as you can see all the way here, this blue water on the right. So the reason I say all this is because there's several things. People that live here in College Park, anywhere east of that spillway, can have a boat dock and a lift for their boat in their backyard. And you are just like a quarter of a mile from being in Lake Worth and the Intercoastal, and then you can head north to get to the ocean by way of the Lake Worth Inlet in West Palm, or go south and go out the Boynton Beach Inlet. So this area, I mean, it's always been kind of discovered, but I think what's happening is that as Palm Beachers, wealthy people in Palm Beach, or people who have accumulated a lot of equity in their home in Palm Beach, have moved to the historic area of West Palm along Flagler. The same thing's happening here. The taxes are lower here. The property prices are lower, but you get some interesting opportunities like the historic area in West Palm. And you can see more about the historic area of West Palm Beach in another video that I did where I did the top 5 neighborhoods in West Palm. So anyway, so this area, as you can see by the names of the streets, is College Park. And that spillway there allows for all these northern lots here along the south side of the canal to have docks. And then I'm going to run some videos here while I'm talking. That first Duke Drive, which is the first east-west road off of Olive when you come from West Palm into Lake Worth, it's kind of interesting because it has all these cul-de-sacs. There's like 6 or 7 of them, the whole length from Olive all the way to the Intercoastal. So you have this long run of Duke Road, and then there's probably 3 or 4 homes on each of these cul-de-sacs. And then as you get out to the end, then people have homes that are right on the Intercoastal. And I just didn't even know. I mean, people have discovered this, and it's really amazing to see the beautiful work they're doing in renovating these homes, as you can see in these video that I'm running as I'm saying this. So that is the story of College Park. And so for the rest of the College Park Historic District, on the east side of Olive, from Duke Drive, you pass Bryn Mawr, Harvard, Yale, and Auburn. All of those streets are intersected by North Lakeside Drive. And then on the east side of that North Lakeside are these smaller connecting streets, some of which are on canals and others are right on the Intercoastal. And even the dry lots are on very nice sized lots, and the homes are all being renovated. And it's just a really lovely place. You're kind of tucked in with the water all around you. And then to the west of Olive, between Olive and Dixie, south of that Spillway Park, also is the College Park Historic District. And the homes are a little bit smaller, but they are older homes and they've been renovated. And it's just a really good looking neighborhood. So south of College Park are 2 or 3 other historic neighborhoods before you get to Lucerne Avenue, which is the street that runs through downtown from the beach through downtown west to 95. These neighborhoods down through Lucerne are kind of connected by north-south roads, primarily North Lakeside Drive and North Palm Way. And that North Lakeside Drive runs all the way from College Park down to downtown. And there are all these great little more narrow streets in between Lakeside Drive and the Intercoastal. And then the golf course is also in between there. So it's really tucked in. And some of the houses are more older bungalows. Some of them have been renovated. Some are more like mid-century modern, because this part of the city has been around for like 100 years. There are a lot of older homes, and people really are spending the money and the time to fix them up. So you could live in this area like this historic area or the Lucerne historic area, and you could be within walking distance of the golf course or the boardwalk that runs from the golf course down to the bridge through the lagoon. And also you can walk to downtown or ride your bike. So it's strategically located. It's very tucked in, and I think it's a very secure area. And it's also got a lot of families, but also retirees, and just a very diverse group of residents who take a lot of pride in living in Lake Worth, who really enjoy the amenities of the city, the nature. And it is a small town, 38,000 people. It's not that big. People really enjoy living there, so they live there for a long time. So there are really some good opportunities where you could even get a house in here for $500,000 or $600,000, a smaller lot or a smaller bungalow or cottage that hasn't been improved, and is up to like millions of dollars for these homes that are along the Intracoastal in the College Park area. So it's really super attractive, and it's I think it's really a buying opportunity if you're really wanting the beach lifestyle. It's a very mature, the landscaping is very mature, the trees are mature because it is an older town. So it really has a charming atmosphere to it. So I covered almost everything on that northeast section of Lake Worth Beach, north of downtown. And the only other thing I'll say is that there are some not so high-rise condos. You'll see them here, I'm showing you, that are on the west side of the bridge in the first couple of blocks after you come over the bridge from the beach, on the north and south side of the east-west traffic flow on Lucerne and Lake. And there's some buildings that have been built in the last like 10, 20 years. Very nice, 6 or 7 story condos. There's an older hotel that has had a number of attempts to have it renovated or, reimagined. And I think that that's really getting underway right now. And then when you go south of the downtown area, as the road kind of comes into a pie shape before you get to Lantana, there are a few smaller neighborhoods than the ones that are in that northeast section of Lake Worth that we were just talking about, like the College Park and down through Lucerne. There are some beautiful homes on the Intracoastal there as well. And then there is obviously residential west of Dixie. So you have Olive and then Dixie, and then west of Dixie through to 95. That's where I think there is a lot more of the rental properties. There's apartment complexes there. There is the unfortunate thing in that area is that the homes were built probably in the 50s and 60s, and they're these smaller little CBS type houses that were built at the time. And there's like little niche neighborhoods in there, and then some of them are more just rental homes. So there are some investment opportunities there as well. Okay, so last but not least, I want to just talk a little bit about the western communities in Lake Worth Beach. And these are, like, if you look back like at this map of the boundaries of the city of Lake Worth Beach, it does only extend to, say, just west of I-95. But further out between, say, I-95 Military Trail and all the way west of the Turnpike, and then south toward Boynton, there are a number of gated, some golf course, but mostly just like not super luxury, like where you could buy for less than $1 million, or even neighborhoods that have homes that are $1 million or more. Some that are further out west that are so close to Wellington and the equestrian area, where they are more equestrian oriented and have very large lots and room for your horses and your barn. So all of that was just so much. As I started to look at it, I was like, there's no way I can put all of that into this. So you could look in my video log and see a video of the western communities and the gated communities in those towns, and also another neighborhood. It's actually a municipality called Lake Clark Shores, and that is sort of just on the northwest corner of the Lake Worth boundary, and that's also kind of a little hidden secret. So take a look at my video that I did on the developments in the western parts of these different municipalities, and that'll give you a good idea of what's available there. So I hope you found this information helpful on Lake Worth Beach. I'd love to hear your comments or questions in the comments section. And if you want to be notified when we have new videos coming out, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button, and you'll be notified every Saturday when we have a new video. And in the meantime, if you're still looking for a beach town, but maybe Lake Worth Beach isn't the one for you, check out my video on the top 5 beach towns in northern Palm Beach County.